Pleasure to welcome everybody to the 52nd Annual General Meeting of the Clay Brick Association.
Sorry?
To our guests, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to hearing your insights you will share with us today. Over the past few years, the AGM organizing team has come up with various themes that are designed to promote awareness of some of the qualities of our wonderful product. Our theme this year's conference is Created from Nature, Built to Last. We're coming from all parts of the country, but we've got one common thing that we do. We all take clay or shale and water, and in some way or another we form it into a beautiful product, a clay brick, which is sustainable and will last forever. Our products have built this country, and we have provided safe homes and long-lasting social infrastructure that is central to people's lives every day. Our responsibility is to ensure that we only put quality products on the market and produce them in a way that safeguards our environment for future generations. And I trust we're all taking that responsibility seriously. Just an industry overview. An analysis of private residential and non-residential building plans passed and buildings completed shows an industry that is tentatively recovering. The total investment in building and construction for 2014 remained flat, approximately 420 billion rands worth, compared to 410 billion in 2013. With Joburg accounting for 12% of buildings completed, and the next largest city being Cape Town with 3%. In the rural areas particularly, it has been a difficult year. Residential building comprises 65% of total investment in buildings, with almost 1/3 of this being in the affordable housing market, by far the biggest residential sector. This makes affordable housing a potentially valuable market for members, even though it's fraught with difficulty. On membership, during the year we've seen 2 members close their doors and 3 resign from the CBA for various reasons. At the same time, we're pleased to disclose that we have signed up 6 new members. We've lost 7 associate members and gained 13 new ones. The board and the EXCO meetings. We've had 3 well-attended board meetings and 4 executive meetings in the last financial year. There were lots of discussions, and the majority of the actions and issues have already been communicated to you by the executive director in numerous emails. As president, I want to thank the board and the executive for their commitment, as well as their time and financial support. Their dedication to the betterment of the industry for all of us at a cost to their own companies. So please give them a round of applause. In every region, meetings were held, but member participation is a concern. So we're looking at ways how we can revive those regional meetings. Okay, and our activities as an association, falling into 2 major categories, marketing and technical. On the marketing side, since the last AGM, members would have seen a major shift in our marketing message and materials. We made some major changes to our marketing service providers, which resulted in fresh ideas and energy. The feedback we have received from members has been very positive. I'd like to express the association's heartfelt appreciation for all those who stepped up and took on new responsibilities that resulted in such a positive change. Well done to the marketing team. We look forward to hearing more about this strategy later in the morning. Technical. The work done by the technical team has a major impact on the future of the CBA. I want to use this opportunity to thank everyone who's contributed to our technical project. Their dedication, ideas, and commitment continually improve the ways we produce clay brick. Due to their efforts, we are able to provide detailed facts and statistics to government, architects and the public, instead of just an opinion or hearsay. Nico Mini and his capable team report on the progress on our various technical projects and what lies ahead in 2015 on 3 major projects. Then energy efficient clay brick. That's that logo at the back on the wall there, EECB. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been absolutely fortunate to have the most amazing friends in the industry. And one of the most supportive is Swiss Contact. They not only offer generous sponsorship, but also critical input that makes them an integral part of both the technical and marketing teams. We appreciate their commitment to clay brick. And Luca, I'd like to thank you and your team for the ongoing contribution to the CBA and its members. Please pass our appreciation to your management at Swiss Contact and SDC. Really guys, it's been absolutely phenomenal. If we look at their contribution over the last 2 or 3 years and going forward is tremendous. A lot of our funding has come through there and all these things that follows. The life cycle assessment and the social economic life cycle assessment, LCA. We've seen the near completion of the life cycle assessment project, and a roadshow is planned for the second half of the year. Chris Dickinson, Howard Harris, and the Executive Director have represented the CBA at least 5 SABS's monthly technical meetings to learn more about topics that will have a major influence on our members' operations and products. Then the clamp kiln emissions project. Under the guidance of the technical team, the University of Pretoria is undertaking clamp kiln emissions research under strictly controlled conditions at Nova Brick. The project is led by Dr. Gerrit Cornelius, and he is on the agenda today to give us preliminary feedback. In the light of our theme, Creative from Nature, Built to Last, it's appropriate that 2 of our key issues address environmental protection. The first issue that will influence our future is the outcome of the clamp kiln research. Much has been said by various role players on the negative perceptions of clamp kiln emissions, and I trust that this research product will give us direction on how to approach the authorities with solutions that will be mutually acceptable. The second issue is carbon tax. We have approached Henk Saar to be our counsel in the negotiations process with Treasury. Let me assure you, Henk is one of the dominant players in this field, and we'd like to again thank Swiss Contact who came forward with 50% sponsorship of the cost to represent our case to Treasury. Our third issue is alternative building technologies. A presidential decision has been ratified by the Cabinet to require that 60% of government infrastructure in the future will use ABTs and not bricks and cement. This decision has been endorsed by the government-mandated CSIR and certified by Government-Created Agreement South Africa. This is not a problem that will go away if we ignore it. And this, for me, is one of the most significant things that we face as an industry. And I think we really are, or have been, for the last few years and years to come, at a watershed moment as an industry. And the challenge is, the way I see it, and this is my personal take on it, is how do we, as clay brick producers, move to see ourselves as clay walling producers and make sure we have businesses in the future. Different businesses have had different challenges. Some of those challenges have been quite good, and we've had factories over the last few years where just your rural or urban spread has solved their problem. Maybe not a problem, but they're presented with the opportunity of selling their land for far greater value than actually making bricks, so they exit the industry. But those who stay in the industry, we really have to hear this point. There's clear direction of we have to move to alternative building methods. So we've got two options. Do we put a lot of effort convincing the stakeholders, the role players, that our product is really the best? And I find that quite challenging. If we look at the world, different markets in the world, and the industry has changed in different ways, and we don't only have to look at Europe, we can look at developing nations like Brazil, South America, and Turkey. And we are trying to convince a market that a solid, small building unit is really the answer. And yes, it may be daunting, and we look at these European plants, but maybe we should be looking at factories in Brazil or Turkey, and look at how ways they make hollowware in Hoffman kilns in environmentally friendly ways. But how do we make that transition of an excellent product that we have, keeping the momentum, and then project ourselves and possibly leapfrog and catch the technology at a point where we can offer a clay building unit, be it a block or a large format thing, that meets all the criteria of an alternative building method. Something that gives the great advantage of efficient use of labor, gives all the qualities of a clay product, but is made in an energy efficient manner and made highly profitable. In our own company, we've started to make that slow transition. So in the Western Cape, for instance, we sell bricks at about 1,500 Rand a thousand. We compete against our competitors whose brick is 3.2 kilograms. And you can do the maths of how many cents per kilogram revenue that gains them. We make our brick at 2.3 kilograms. And that means we efficiently use our raw material and make our product, once we absorb the capital, at a far reduced price. And then when we come to deliver it to a client, we have the added advantage of getting more bricks on a truck. But again, we're starting to force ourselves not to think about 1,000 bricks like we all used to, but to think of a square meter in the wall. And not only a square meter in the wall, but a laid finish cost of a square meter in the wall. So just based on the Western Cape figures, a brick, the cost of a brick being R1.50, the labor component is also R1.50 to place it in a wall. So roughly speaking, if you take 52 bricks per square meter, a single skin wall's labor is roughly 75 Rand. A double skin is 150 Rand. But if you take a cement block, and I'm saying we shouldn't be competing against them, we should be going over. The cement block is laid for typically 4 or 5 Rand, at 12.5 blocks per meter, being 50 Rand a square meter for a double skin wall. So our labor is 3 times the price. And. Then we've got more legislation coming if we want to make sure our houses fit the SANS 204 energy efficient housing. We can either look at this as a major obstacle or a major opportunity. If you look at the Europeans, instead of going to build, let's say, 2 skins of wall and putting a lot of insulation in, you could maybe get those thermal properties with 1 monolithic unit. So I do believe we are at a watershed. We have different factories who will have different challenges. Maybe a rural factory may have a longer lifespan, but I do think those challenges are there. And we have the opportunity. We all know the classic business study that people always talk about, the buggy whip syndrome, or whatever they call it. I want to be the guys making buggy whips for the old horse and chariot when Henry Ford was starting to knock out motor cars. We can make the best whips for the horses, but if they're not appropriate for the technology of the day, we will be a reducing club. So I don't want to put fear in anything like that. I'm saying there's tremendous opportunity, and things have changed. The way things change now. Somebody was telling me they saw some program of Grand Designs. People watch TV and they see all these programs. They see a different method of construction. You can put into YouTube and you see people laying clay blocks. So that transition of that technology, I don't think we have to fear presenting that to the end users. There's tremendous opportunity, and our role is to keep our existing market strong and healthy and convince the current players that right now we do have a good solution. We really do have a good solution. Somebody, a person was talking at the table where a company had done affordable housing in a face brick unit with larger modular rooms. It's an excellent solution. We can't give up telling our story. But there is a highly profitable business if one collaborates with the right technology partners and goes for the big thing. The prices that we're getting into South Africa are actually very good. We always think our prices are low. But if you go into Europe, I've just used the example where we're making bricks with 28% perforation. In Europe, a hollow block would be 55 to 60% perforation. Now, selling air is a very good business. And that's where I believe, is an opportunity. And companies must consider that. Right. Then we've got change. Two handsome gentlemen. My money is on the guy on the left. For his age, he's looking good. And I'm going to have a lot more to say this evening, but I think everybody would be in 100% agreement for the excellent, outstanding job that Ut has done. Many a year time he thought he could go into retirement. We said, no ways. We've got to keep that expertise in going. Just the passion that you interacted with all us as members. I think you see us as family. The concern that you've had for individuals and their businesses, you take it personally. And you've taken us as an association through some interesting times. In that 8-year period, when you think of all the things that have changed in the industry, all these new standards that came, and Ut has had to steer us through these. We're pulling teams in, developing teams. And it's an amazing job that you've done. And you can only concentrate on that and wish you well in your life as you go into retirement. We know you're a phone call away. And I know those relationships will persist and you'll be getting many calls from your friends amongst us in the future. And as Ut goes, we'd like to welcome Jonathan Pryor, who comes with a wealth of experience in the industry, and just to take up the reins of the organisation that Ut has left in a big way, and the contact, I guess that's carry on taking the board. So I'd like to welcome Jonathan Pryor. If you'd like to get to know And then in closing, it's our thanks to all our sponsors that we can celebrate and make all these sort of events possible, all the little add-ons that they contribute to. Without our sponsors and our suppliers, we can't operate as an industry. And if you look at those names there, I mean, there's some really long-standing relationships, that products that you can see have stuck out and suppliers and kept us going as an industry. So really, if you can just join me and give a hand to all our and then I'd like to thank our hosts, the Limpopo and Mpumalanga region, led by Johan Humphreys. I think, guys, it's been an excellent start. We see this beautiful part of the country. It's just such a pleasure coming up, and it's so beautiful up here. And you guys have done a great job pulling everything together. We look forward to the rest of the day. Thank you very much. And then back in the office, I'd like to thank Mani, the Save Note, who handles all is the sort of key link between everything, preparing the financials and tons of work that she does organising for the AGM. People want to cancel a lot of ad in the last minute and backwards. Well, she's done a wonderful job, and we're grateful to be able to rely on Marnie's experience and capable administration skills. So I can thank Marnie. And then it wouldn't be possible if we didn't have all of you guys making the effort to come here and to be part of it, to share the vision, to talk to one another. It's a wonderful opportunity You can talk to brickmakers from other areas of the country and share things more and motivate one another. Yeah, our products have stood many years, and it's clear that our products are built to last. So, thank you very much.